Welcome to our show on how to have a healthy relationship. I'm Sophie Lee, your host for today's discussion on cultivating strong and fulfilling connections with our loved ones. Joining me are esteemed guests who will share their expertise and insights on nurturing relationships to thrive. So grab a cup of tea, relax, and get ready to delve into the essential elements that make relationships flourish like a beautiful garden. Let's start by exploring one of the key ingredients to a healthy relationship: communication. Dr. Johnson, can you share with us why effective communication is so pivotal?
Absolutely, Sophie. At the heart of every strong relationship is the ability to communicate effectively. It's not just about the words we say, but how we say them. Effective communication fosters understanding, empathy, and connection. It's about expressing not just our thoughts, but our feelings and needs in a way that's respectful and clear.
That's fascinating, Dr. Johnson. It sounds like it's not just about talking, but also about listening. Can you expand on the importance of active listening in communication?
Oh, absolutely, Emily. Active listening is a critical component of effective communication. It involves truly hearing what the other person is saying, without judgment or planning your response while they're speaking. It's about being fully present and engaged, showing empathy, and validating their feelings. This level of attentiveness builds trust and shows your partner that you value their perspective.
Trust and empathy are powerful foundations. Sophie, in your work, how do you see these elements playing out in successful relationships? Great question, Sophie. In my coaching, I emphasize the practice of vulnerability. When couples can communicate their deepest fears, desires, and insecurities in a safe space, it deepens intimacy. It's this emotional openness, combined with trust and empathy, that truly strengthens the bond between partners.
Vulnerability can be quite daunting for many. What are some strategies or exercises that couples can use to improve their communication and foster this openness?
There are several effective strategies. One exercise I recommend is the mirror exercise, where one partner shares something significant and the other simply listens, then repeats back what they've heard. This not only ensures clarity, but also shows that they are listening deeply. It's a powerful way to practice empathy and understanding.
Adding to that, setting aside regular check-in times can be incredibly beneficial. During these sessions, each partner can share their thoughts and feelings about the relationship without distractions. It's a dedicated time to connect and address any issues before they become major problems.
These sound like effective tools for improving communication. How important is it for couples to recognize and respect their differences in communication styles?
That's an excellent point, Emily. Understanding and respecting that each partner may have a different communication style is crucial. Some may express love verbally, while others might show it through actions or quality time. Recognizing these differences and adapting your communication accordingly can prevent misunderstandings and foster deeper connection.
It's clear that communication is a multifaceted skill that couples need to develop together. It's about talking, listening, understanding, and respecting each other's unique styles and needs. With these tools, relationships can not only survive, but truly thrive.
Speaking of thriving relationships, there's often a debate about the role of personal space and independence within a partnership. How significant do you think maintaining a sense of individuality is in a relationship, and how can couples achieve this balance?
That's a crucial aspect, Emily. Maintaining individuality is key to a healthy relationship because it respects each person's needs and space. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're connected and supportive of each other, yet still have the freedom to pursue your own interests and passions. Encouraging each other to grow individually strengthens the relationship by bringing new energies and experiences into the partnership.
Absolutely, Sophie. And to add on, it's about setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not barriers. They are guidelines that help each partner understand what's important to the other. Having clear boundaries allows couples to have their own space and identity, which paradoxically brings them closer, because it's built on a foundation of respect and trust.
Boundaries seem to be a double-edged sword for many, with some fearing that setting boundaries might push their partner away. How can couples effectively communicate their need for boundaries without causing misunderstanding or resentment?
Communication about boundaries should come from a place of love and respect for both oneself and the partner. It's important to express why certain boundaries are necessary and how they will benefit the relationship as a whole. Framing it positively, rather than as limitations, can help mitigate any potential misunderstanding or resentment.
And let's not forget the importance of compromise. Effective communication about boundaries often involves negotiation, where both partners feel heard and valued. It's not about winning, it's about finding solutions that respect both individuals' needs. This process itself can strengthen trust and intimacy, as it requires honesty, vulnerability, and a willingness to listen.
Speaking of vulnerability, many people find it challenging to open up about their needs and fears. What strategies can couples use to become more comfortable with vulnerability in their relationship?
Developing comfort with vulnerability starts with creating a safe emotional space where each partner feels valued and not judged. It's about showing consistent support and understanding. A good strategy is to practice small acts of vulnerability and gradually build up to sharing more significant emotions or needs. This can help build trust and show that it's safe to be open with each other.
Yes, and to build on that, it's so important to respond with empathy and validation when your partner is being vulnerable. This reassures them that their feelings are important and they're not alone. Displaying empathy can significantly encourage more open and honest communication, deepening the emotional connection.
Absolutely, empathy is key. Moving on, let's discuss conflict resolution. Every couple faces disagreements, but it seems the way they navigate these conflicts can really make or break the relationship. What are some effective conflict resolution strategies?
One effective strategy is the pause and reflect method. Before reacting, take a moment to reflect on what your partner said and consider their perspective. This can help prevent knee-jerk reactions that can escalate the conflict. It's also vital to focus on the issue at hand and avoid bringing up past grievances.
And adding to that, I think maintaining a collaborative attitude is crucial. Approaching conflict with the mindset that you're working together to solve a problem, rather than fighting against one another, can change the whole dynamic. It encourages problem solving and finding compromises that respect both partners' views and needs.
Right. Seeing it as a team effort can definitely change the outcome of a disagreement. Now, in terms of maintaining long-term satisfaction in relationships, what role does gratitude play, and how can couples cultivate it?
Gratitude is incredibly powerful in reinforcing a positive outlook on your relationship. It shifts the focus to what's going well and what you appreciate about your partner, rather than dwelling on negatives. Simple practices, like expressing appreciation for small acts or regularly reflecting on what you value in your partner, can foster a culture of gratitude in the relationship.
Exactly, Sophie. And research shows that couples who practice gratitude towards each other are more likely to feel satisfied and committed to their relationship long term. It's about recognizing and celebrating the effort and love your partner contributes, which in turn nurtures a positive and supportive environment for both individuals.
Speaking of nurturing a positive environment, how significant is it for couples to share common interests or activities, and can this impact the health of the relationship?
Sharing common interests can be a fantastic way to bond and build shared experiences, which is key for maintaining a healthy relationship. It doesn't mean you have to share every hobby or interest, but finding a few activities you both enjoy can strengthen your connection and provide opportunities for fun and relaxation together.
Absolutely. And it's also about showing interest in your partner's passions, even if they're not necessarily your own. Being willing to explore and participate in activities that matter to your partner demonstrates care and respect for their happiness, which can significantly enhance emotional intimacy.
So it sounds like mutual respect and support extend into sharing and respecting each other's interests as well. This brings to mind the importance of personal space in a relationship. How can couples balance the time spent together with the need for individual space?
That's a great point, Emily. Encouraging and respecting each other's need for personal space is crucial. It's about trusting your partner and understanding that time apart to pursue individual interests or simply to recharge is healthy. Communicating openly about your needs and expectations regarding personal space can prevent misunderstandings.
Indeed, Sophie. The key here is communication. It's important for partners to discuss their needs for space and together find a balance that works for their relationship. This balance can evolve over time, so keeping the lines of communication open is essential for adapting and ensuring both partners feel happy and supported.
It seems like effective communication really is the thread that ties all these aspects together.
Absolutely, Emily. And let's not forget, effective communication isn't just about talking. It's also about listening actively to your partner. It's about showing empathy, understanding, and being present during the conversation, which can significantly deepen the bond between partners.
Right, Sophie. And to add to that, I think it's crucial to note that conflict in relationships isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's how couples manage conflict that matters. Approaching disagreements with a mindset geared towards finding a solution together rather than winning an argument can turn conflicts into opportunities for growth.
That's an interesting take on conflict. It sounds like it's more about the approach and mindset towards conflict than avoiding it altogether. Could you elaborate on how couples can develop this constructive approach to disagreements?
Sure, Emily. One effective strategy is what I call the pause and reflect technique. Before responding in a heated moment, take a deep breath and consider what your partner is really trying to communicate. This pause can help de-escalate the situation and allow for a more thoughtful response, fostering a constructive dialogue rather than an argument.
And building on Sophie's point, it's also useful for couples to establish a conflict blueprint, a predetermined approach to handling disagreements that both partners agree on. This might include setting aside time to discuss the issue calmly, using I statements to express feelings without blaming, and agreeing to take a timeout if emotions run too high.
Having a plan in place sounds like a practical way to manage conflicts. It's fascinating how these strategies not only address resolving conflicts, but also seem to build resilience in the relationship over time.
Definitely, Emily. Over time, as couples navigate challenges together and come out stronger, it builds a sense of teamwork and trust. This resilience is what makes relationships withstand the test of time and the inevitable ups and downs life throws at them.
Exactly. Resilience in relationships is akin to muscle strength in the body. It builds up through repeated challenges and recovery. And like any strong muscle, a resilient relationship can support more weight, withstand more pressure, and stretch without breaking.
That's a powerful metaphor, Dr. Johnson. So, would you say that engaging in these resilience-building activities is something couples should do proactively rather than reactively?
Absolutely, Emily. Just like you wouldn't wait for a muscle to atrophy before you start exercising it, you shouldn't wait for a relationship to be in crisis to begin strengthening it. Regular relationship workouts can include weekly check-ins with each other, setting shared goals, and practicing gratitude by acknowledging what you appreciate about each other.
I love that concept, Dr. Johnson. It's about turning maintenance into something positive and proactive. I've seen couples transform their relationships by simply incorporating these regular expressions of gratitude and shared vision into their daily routine.
It sounds like these small, consistent practices can have a significant impact. Do you have any advice on how couples can maintain this positive momentum, even when life gets busy or stressful?
A good start is setting what I call mini milestones, small, achievable goals that serve as stepping stones towards larger aspirations. Celebrating these mini milestones can create a culture of appreciation and progress, which is especially helpful during busier times.
And let's not forget the importance of self-care in sustaining these efforts. Often, we're better partners when we're taking care of our own physical and emotional well-being. It's hard to pour from an empty cup, after all. So, individual self-care practices are crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship.
Self-care as a foundation for relationship care. That's an important reminder. It seems like focusing on the individual's well-being is just as critical as working on the relationship directly.
Precisely, Emily. It's all about balance. Balancing self-care with care for the relationship creates a dynamic where both partners feel valued and supported. This balance is key to fostering emotional intimacy and a deep, lasting connection.
Speaking of balance, what practical steps can couples take to ensure they're not veering too far one way or the other? In other words, how can they maintain this balance between self-care and care for the relationship?
One effective strategy is to have regular check-ins about the relationship itself. During these conversations, both partners can express their current feelings, any personal stresses that might be affecting the relationship, and discuss how they can support each other. This creates a safe space for vulnerability and mutual support, which is essential for balance.
Adding to what Dr. Johnson mentioned, I think it's also beneficial to have individual hobbies or interests alongside shared activities. This allows each partner to maintain their sense of self and bring new energy and experiences into the relationship, which can be incredibly enriching.
That's intriguing, Sophie. So pursuing individual passions can actually contribute to a healthier relationship by fostering personal growth and independence?
Exactly, Emily. It's about creating a relationship where there's mutual respect for each other's individuality, as well as a strong bond through shared experiences. This approach can lead to a deeper understanding and appreciation of each other, enhancing emotional intimacy.
And let's not overlook the importance of effective communication. It's the cornerstone of building and maintaining emotional intimacy. This includes not only talking, but listening actively to your partner. It's about truly hearing what they're saying, understanding their perspective, and responding with empathy.
Active listening seems like it should be simple, but it's definitely an art. Any tips on how couples can improve their listening skills?
One tip is to practice what I call reflective listening. After your partner has finished speaking, try to summarize what they've said in your own words. This shows that you're paying attention and truly understand their thoughts and feelings. It also provides an opportunity for any clarifications if you've misunderstood something.
Another vital aspect is to eliminate distractions during these conversations. That means putting away phones, turning off the TV, and making sure you're fully present. It's a simple action, but it goes a long way in making your partner feel valued and heard.
It seems like these practices not only enhance communication, but also reinforce the respect and care partners have for each other.
Absolutely, Emily. Respect is a fundamental pillar in any healthy relationship. When partners feel respected, it fosters a safe environment where both individuals feel comfortable expressing their thoughts and emotions freely without fear of judgment.
Speaking of emotions, let's touch upon the role of emotional intelligence in relationships. Being able to understand and manage one's own emotions, as well as empathize with your partner's feelings, is crucial for mitigating conflicts and deepening connection.
Emotional intelligence sounds like a game changer in how we approach and resolve conflicts. Could you elaborate on how we can develop this skill in the context of a relationship?
One way to cultivate emotional intelligence is through self-reflection and mindfulness. By becoming more aware of your own emotional triggers and responses, you can begin to approach conflicts from a place of calm and understanding rather than defensiveness.
Also, don't underestimate the power of apology and forgiveness. These are not signs of weakness, but of strength. Acknowledging when you're wrong and being willing to forgive can heal and strengthen the bond between partners immensely.
That's a profound insight. It seems like being vulnerable and open instead of holding on to pride, can actually build a stronger and more resilient relationship.
Exactly, Emily. Vulnerability is the birthplace of intimacy and connection. When both partners have the courage to be vulnerable with each other, it creates a deeper emotional bond that's hard to break.
It's also worth mentioning the role of gratitude in relationships. Regularly expressing appreciation for your partner, for both the big and small things, can significantly boost relationship satisfaction and longevity.
So it's the combination of effective communication, emotional intelligence, vulnerability, and gratitude that forms the foundation of a healthy relationship.
Absolutely, Emily. And let's not forget about the importance of maintaining individuality within a relationship. It's crucial for each person to have their own interests, friendships, and time for self-care. This not only enriches their own lives, but also brings fresh energy and perspectives into the relationship.
That's a great point, Sophie. Balancing togetherness with individuality can prevent the relationship from becoming stagnant. It encourages growth, both as a couple and individually, which is key for a lasting partnership.
It seems like finding that balance is both an art and a science. How can couples navigate the challenge of ensuring enough space for individual growth while maintaining a strong connection?
Communication is key here. Discussing each other's needs and boundaries openly can help couples understand how to support each other's growth without feeling threatened or neglected. It's about being each other's cheerleader in life's journey.
And let's not forget the role of compromise and flexibility. These are essential skills in navigating the complexities of relationships. Being willing to adapt and meet your partner halfway can make a huge difference in fostering harmony and understanding.
It seems like there's a recurring theme here: communication, understanding, and support. These elements are pivotal in building and sustaining a healthy relationship.
Absolutely, and incorporating these principles not only helps in romantic relationships, but also in friendships and family dynamics. The skills we're discussing are universal in maintaining healthy connections with all the people in our lives.
Indeed, the principles of a healthy relationship are applicable across all types of human connections. It's about building a foundation of trust, respect, and mutual support.
Now, transitioning a bit, let's explore how technology impacts relationships. With apps and platforms becoming increasingly integral in how we connect, what are some of the opportunities and challenges that arise in modern relationships?
Well, technology certainly offers incredible opportunities to meet people we might never have crossed paths with otherwise. Online dating apps and social media have expanded our social networks remarkably. However, the challenge lies in ensuring that these digital connections transition into meaningful real-world relationships.
That's a solid point, Dr. Johnson. Another aspect is the way technology can sometimes create a sense of distance, even when we're constantly connected. There's a difference between communicating through texts or social media and having a conversation face-to-face. The nuances of body language and tone can get lost in translation.
So, in a way, while technology connects us more than ever, it also requires us to be more mindful about maintaining the quality of our connections. How do you suggest we navigate this paradox?
One approach is setting boundaries around technology use, especially in intimate relationships. Designating tech-free times can help couples and families ensure that they're truly present with each other, fostering deeper connections.
Incorporating technology in a way that enhances communication is also key. For instance, using video calls instead of just texts can help maintain the intimacy and immediacy of face-to-face conversations, even when physically apart.
It seems like the crux of the matter is not whether we use technology, but how we use it to support and enrich our relationships.
Exactly, Emily. It's about being intentional with our use of technology, ensuring it serves to strengthen rather than undermine our connections with others.
And remembering that at the heart of every relationship, whether nurtured online or offline, are the basic principles of trust, respect, and understanding. Technology should be a tool that aids in expressing these core values, not a barrier to them.
Shifting gears a bit, let's dive into the topic of conflict in relationships. Dr. Johnson, can you share some insights on why conflict, despite its negative connotation, is actually a vital part of a healthy relationship?
Absolutely, Emily. Conflict, in its essence, is not a sign of a failing relationship, but rather an indication of growth and individuality within a partnership. It's inevitable that two people, each with their own set of values, beliefs, and experiences, will encounter disagreements. The key is how these conflicts are navigated. Handled constructively, they can lead to deeper understanding and intimacy.
That's an interesting perspective. It resonates with the idea that through conflict, couples have the opportunity to address underlying issues, thereby strengthening their bond. Would you say that it's more about the approach to conflict than the conflict itself?
Precisely, Sophie. The approach to conflict is crucial. Techniques like active listening, which involves fully concentrating, understanding, responding, and then remembering what is being said, are foundational. They allow both partners to feel heard and valued, which can transform a potential disagreement into a moment of connection.
Active listening sounds like a skill everyone could benefit from, not just couples. How about empathy? How does that play into resolving conflicts?
Empathy is like the glue in relationships. It allows us to see the world through our partner's eyes, feeling what they feel. When we approach conflicts with empathy, we're less likely to react defensively and more likely to find a resolution that respects both partners' needs and feelings.
Absolutely, Sophie. And when you combine empathy with problem-solving skills, you get a powerful toolkit for navigating conflicts. It's about finding solutions that acknowledge and address both partners' concerns, rather than winning an argument. This collaborative approach fosters a sense of teamwork and can significantly strengthen the relationship.
It seems that these advanced skills not only help in resolving conflicts, but also in preventing them. By fostering understanding, empathy, and teamwork, couples can create a more harmonious and fulfilling relationship.
Right, Emily. And let's not forget the importance of maintaining a positive perspective. Research shows that couples who focus on the positive aspects of their relationship and their partner are more resilient during conflicts. It's not just about resolving disagreements, but also about nurturing the positive connections that form the foundation of the relationship.
Absolutely. That positive perspective acts as a buffer against the stress of conflicts. It reminds couples why they chose each other in the first place, reinforcing the bond and commitment to navigate challenges together.
I think it's fascinating how these strategies, active listening, empathy, problem solving, and maintaining a positive perspective, mirror the timeless lessons we've learned from historical love stories. Would you say that the essence of a healthy relationship hasn't changed much over the centuries?
Absolutely, Emily. The core of a healthy relationship, whether it's Cleopatra and Mark Antony or a modern couple, remains constant. It's about connection, understanding, and mutual respect. These elements transcend time and place because they are fundamental human needs.
And to add to that, what changes is the context in which relationships operate. Societal norms, technologies, and lifestyle changes all influence how relationships are formed and maintained. But at their heart, the principles of successful relationships remain the same.
That's a powerful insight. So in essence, while the world around us evolves, the heart of what makes a relationship work remains timeless. Dr. Johnson, Sophie has a closing question. What's one piece of advice you'd give to anyone seeking to improve their relationship today, drawing from these timeless principles?
I would say never underestimate the power of open, honest communication. It's the lifeline of any relationship. Encourage dialogue, practice active listening, and always approach your partner with empathy and understanding.
And I'll add, make a conscious effort to focus on the positives. In the midst of everyday stresses and conflicts, take time to appreciate your partner and the moments of joy and connection you share. This positive focus can transform your relationship.
Fantastic insights. Thank you, Dr. Johnson and Sophie Lee, for sharing your wisdom with us. To our listeners, remember that the essence of a healthy relationship is timeless. By embracing principles of empathy, communication, and positive focus, you can navigate the complexities of modern love with wisdom as old as time itself.
Thank you, Emily, for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Emily. Wishing everyone the best in their relationships.
And that wraps up today's episode on how to have a healthy relationship. We hope you found it enlightening and inspiring. Tune in next time for more insights and conversations. Stay connected and take care.